Now, when you go to the butcher's, you may have seen that image of a cow with all of the different meat cuts, like chuck and rib and sirloin on it. Well, it just may be time to update that image. Joining us now is Christopher Lam. He's the chef and owner of Straight and Marrow. Hello there.
Hi, Gloria. How are you today?
I'm terrific, thank you. Now, Christopher, you're pretty serious about your meat cuts there at Straight and Marrow, but you think a little bit outside of the traditional box, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit, I'd say. I tend to enjoy a lot of cuts that some people find a little bit weird, but I'm trying to show people that they're pretty good.
Okay, weird like how?
So one dish we have is a beef heart tartare. So we use the beef heart instead of a traditional beef tenderloin or a sirloin even. We also have a sweetbread dish, and I use a lamb sweetbread. Traditionally, it is a veal sweetbread. And sweetbread is just a thymus and a pancreas gland on an animal. Yeah, so we're just playing around with weird things like that.
Well, okay, you mentioned that it's something that you enjoy, but where did this whole approach come from?
Honestly, from my just childhood and Asian background, we have a philosophy not to waste anything that we ever have. And not only do we not waste it, I find that we find ways to make it very delicious and actually like almost delicacies. And so I'm trying to bring that approach to just normal dining. Okay,
and just how difficult is it to source ingredients like that?
Oh, it's been a little bit of a struggle. Like even right now, the lamb sweetbreads is on a 2-week kind of, special order time. So I'm trying to do my best to get it. I can get veal sweetbreads, but not lamb sweetbreads. And I've also been working on a dish dealing with pigtails, and that has been a very difficult challenge to procure. So.
Okay. Now, you've been in the restaurant business for 12 years. You're classically trained, but I'd love to just see you at work there. You were talking about this unconventional tartare. Why don't you take us through it?
Sure. So we just have beef heart right here. So I've just blanched it in beef stock, then blanched it into an ice bath and cubed it up. Get it as fresh as you can. And we will add this in to a mixing bowl here. This is about 50 grams of beef heart that I just prepped this morning.
All pre-measured. That's very convenient. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And then we're looking at, this is just a bit of aioli, which we made this morning as well. It's about half a teaspoon. And that's not really a very traditional thing that French people would put into their tartares, but I personally like it a lot.
So the aioli is like a garlic mayonnaise, sort of.
Yes, and it's just made with olive oil instead of canola oil, but technically mayonnaise is fine. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
And then we have a mix here that is Castelvetrano olives, anchovies, and capers, and a little bit of red wine vinegar, just to give it a little bit of richness and acidity. So full tablespoon here, or teaspoon, sorry. And then we have a little bit of fresh chives and a little bit of salt. And that's it. It's very simple. Mix it together.
What do you serve that with?
So we just like to serve it with crostinis. Any sort of bread is fine. I think that, I personally can eat tartare by itself, but it's a little bit weird for some people.
Well, okay, let's talk about what could be a little bit weird for some people. I mean, do you find that some people come in and say, oh my God, I don't know if I can go there? I mean, do you have to do any convincing, or have you already got a captive audience? What have you been finding?
I find that some things that we have on the menu are a little bit odd. The sweetbreads especially, like, it's a pretty normal thing for me and a lot of people I know, but I find that I've been saying a lot, try it first and then I'll tell you what it is later. And if you know what I mean? So if you like it, you like it. If not, we'll see. Then I'll tell you what you just said.
Okay, so you want to go back to your plating there? What are you putting on now?
So this is just a smoked paprika aioli. So it's a little bit of cayenne pepper, smoked paprika, aioli, lemon juice, and salt. It's just I'm doing more of a Spanish style tartare here, more than a French style.
Oh, just little dots. You don't want to overpower the flavors there.
No, it's got a little bit of kick to it. So that's something that we've been kind of playing around with. And then here we have just a little bit of crispy sunchokes. So sunchokes are Jerusalem artichokes. They're like the bulb of sunflowers.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I
So
mean,
we put a little.
it all seems just so interesting and certainly something we're not used to. So what are, the flavors and textures that you're really, eager to share with a broader audience?
Well, I think the main thing with this dish is that I find that beef heart is extremely beefy. A lot of people use beef tenderloin for their tartares, and so you actually lose a lot of beef flavor for the tenderness because it hasn't developed the muscle. So I just want to show that, this is a fraction of the cost of any other tartare you'll have in the city, and you can make it yourself at home very easily. Butchers will gladly give you some beef heart if you ask for it. And yeah, it's just, try different things.
No.
But we're going for a very balanced dish here. I'm trying to do my best to ease the patrons into eating, beef heart, so it's not too gamey or too strong. And I'm just putting a little bit of sun-dried tomato here.
Oh, I love that. I love that it looks so delicate how you're plating that with the little details and the different color combinations. It's really gorgeous. It's a beautiful dish.
And then here I'm just going to add a couple radishes to give it a little bit of freshness.
You're going to have all kinds of textures in your mouth when you dip into that with the crostini too.
Yes, exactly.
And
Balance.
It looks absolutely gorgeous. That's a tartare like I have never seen before.
And then one last thing, I like to garnish it with, I have this, which is a cured egg yolk. So I cure it in salt and sugar for about 6 weeks. And then it has the texture of cheese. It actually tastes very much like Parmesan cheese. And I just like to microplane a little bit of that over it.
Wow, it even grates like cheese. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as cheese. And that's it. We eat it with a couple crostinis, and it's pretty simple.
Christopher, that is a work of art, I have to say. You sound like a straight and narrow kind of guy, and we wish you all the best with Straight and Marrow there on Powell Street. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Gloria.